Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As we can see, gold and silver is today's discussion because if you don't know and you're living under a rock, or you do know, gold has hit record highs and so has silver. Silver isn't far behind its record high. I think it's at about $95, which equates to about 90 odd pounds or something. I'm not quite sure the conversion rate, but it is on the slideshow, so we will get to it. So prices like these seem unmanageable a year ago. Like, honestly, you wouldn't think it would be this high. So what's driving this surge? Well, today we're breaking down the main factors. We're going to be covering geopolitical tensions, trade uncertainty, central bank moves, like the demand, and more. So let's just jump in and let's cover the first thing, and that is the year-on-year performance of gold. So it is in the British pounds price, which is £3,745, which I think is about $4,500 if I can do maths on the top of my head. Now, about a year ago, it was trading about $3,600, or as you can see, about 2,750 to 2,500. That was the kind of the range that it was basically hovering over. But due to the inflation worries and central banks quietly buying up reserves, it has gone higher and higher ever since. Now, silver, however, was a real star. A year ago, it was only about £24 an ounce, or as you can see, roughly between 25 to £30. And today it's skyrocketed to over $73, or as you can see, £81 as was recorded, which is nearly over 200% gain. And this wasn't just hype. Silver price was driven by both investor interest and industrial demand. Now, what is the big difference for this whole year? Well, the rally didn't just continue, it accelerated. The fresh political tensions, trade fears, the uncertainty, what especially what Trump was doing, has just basically acted like jet fuel for these precious metals. Hence why we're seeing the price the way it is. So, geopolitical risk. And as you can see the tariff board already on the screen. So, why is this a risk? Well, gold and silver have always been safe havens. So when uncertainty rises, investors flock to assets not tied to governments or banks. In early 2026, as you know, Davos has just happened. President Trump has mentioned new trade tariffs involving Europe, especially tied to Greenland, a region growing in strategical importance, especially for the United States. Even the possibility of tariffs sent markets into cautious mode. Stocks dipped, volatility spiked, and money flowed into both of the precious metals. Even though the tariffs haven't materialized, the uncertainty lingers, and that's enough to keep this demand high. Trade tensions and macro factors. Yes, as you can see, we're going to be talking about some trade. So trade disputes aren't just political. They're a big economical consequence. Tariffs slow down global trade, which increases the cost for businesses and shakes investor confidence. Because if nothing's trading and nothing's selling, of course, we're all going to be worried that we ain't going to be making any money. And history shows that the periods of trade uncertainty often coincide with a stronger demand for gold and silver. And investors hedge early, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Central banks and monetary policy. So, central banks worldwide are buying gold aggressively right now, diversifying away from the US dollar to protect against geopolitical risks and current swings, because especially the US dollar is on its 4-year low. And especially with lower interest rates and rising inflation, it makes gold even more attractive. Since gold doesn't pay interest, it becomes more valuable when holding cash loses purchasing power. But why is silver also exploding? Silver isn't just an investment, it's an industrial metal essential for solar panels, electric vehicles, electronics, and semiconductors. At the same time, supply hasn't kept up. Most silver comes as a byproduct of mining, so it's hard to boost production quickly. With demand rising on both industrial and investment fronts, silver price can move fast, much faster than gold. And as you can see, I've got a chart up here, and it says about the supply. Now, as you can see, in 2026, to probably, if I can see off the top of my head, to 2021, 2022, there was more supply than there was demand. But ever since, there's been more demand than supply, which of course is rising the price up. Now, how to invest in, gold and silver? So I've got two options that I found, especially for silver. So you got the iShares Physical Silver ETC or SSLN, or you got the iShares Silver Trust, which is SLV. Now, the UK one isn't actually on eToro, which I use, but SLV is. So some brokers will have different ETFs that you can use, because you don't need to buy bars or coins to invest in gold or silver. ETFs are very simple and accessible, and you can use, especially for the UK, some brokers that will allow you to have silver ETFs very easily with low fees and tax efficient accounts for like ISAs as well. So for gold as well, we've got GLD, which is the SPDR gold shares, and we've also got the iShares Physical Gold. And as you can see all the performances down at the bottom. If you want to pause the video and have a look yourself of the year-on-year performances, 10-year performances, and all time. So benefits are liquidity. I've said that so wrong. Diversification, no storage headaches, and easy trading, just like buying shares. So let's finish off, and I want to hear what you guys are going to think. Where do you think the price is going to go for gold and silver? Looking ahead, a lot of people are saying it's going to be bullish for long term, especially with the tension and economic uncertainty. But for short-term dips are always possible. This isn't a rally about one headline. It's a combination, I think, of politics, trade, and policies, industrial demand, and market psychology. That's what makes it so powerful. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to go higher? Or do you think this is the highest that we've ever seen and it's going to come down? But if you found this video helpful, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and there'll be more coming to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.